Hi, Vilas. Welcome to If Innovation Could Talk.
Hi, Eva. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you, Vilas. Now, I hear your passion for sustainable farming and economic development actually started when you hiked through the foothills of Nepal. So tell us, what are you doing now to use innovation to turn that passion into reality, not just in Nepal, but globally?
Yeah, that's right, Eva. My first time working with farmers started about 10 years ago, actually. And I was working in the hills of Nepal, basically, which is a beautiful stretch of land basically across the entire country. It's a particularly challenging place to be a farmer, though, and hard place to grow crops. Most farmers are growing about 1 to 2 acres of crops and have a hard time accessing quality inputs and financing. So what I was doing there was actually looking at a different kind of innovation into financial products and loan products to have a more sustainable livelihood. But there was a fundamental challenge, which was access to information. And fundamentally, the lenders didn't understand the information about the conditions of the farms that they were lending to. And so if you fast forward 10 years, I'm now working at a company called Arable. Arable makes a IoT solution, basically an intelligence platform for agriculture that helps farmers understand the conditions that their fields are in at any given time. And fundamentally, the innovation is around how do you bring all the different disparate elements about what's affecting crops into one place.
Fantastic. Now, in fact, I first heard about Arable because of the work you do with Swan Systems here in Australia. So tell us, what is the role of international collaboration in innovation?
I think that in agriculture, collaboration, period, is everything. I used to have an expression at my last company that farming is a team sport. And that happens on the farm, but it also happens when it comes to innovation in agriculture. No company and no innovative company can really do it all themselves. Partnerships are really essential. And partly that's because farmers don't want to have to juggle many different solutions. They'd rather have a single solution, or at least solutions that talk to one another. So partnerships are really important in that way. It also helps connect with farmers, being able to leverage partners who already have that relationship with a farmer and being on farm already. So yeah, our partnership with Swan Systems works exactly that way. Our solution and theirs, we have an intelligence platform for farming. They have fantastic water and nutrient management solutions, and those kind of fit together like puzzle pieces together that deliver an integrated experience for farmers in Australia.
I love your analogy about team sport and how you make it so easy to understand. In fact, your daughter turned 1 recently. So what would you tell your daughter about sustainable farming from a young age?
I think the place to understand sustainable farming comes from knowing where your food comes from. And I think that's what I would tell her: know where your food comes from. It's funny to kind of see, you can't just look at where your food comes from as far as how it's grown. You actually have to go even further back. The environmental footprint of what it takes to bring the food onto your dinner plate is so fascinating and complex, and it really involves the entire world working together as a system to produce that food. And I think the starting point for my daughter, but really anybody, would be to understand where does your food come from, and what does it take for a calorie to get made.
So lastly, what can the public or individuals do to promote sustainable farming?
That's a great question. I would say the single biggest thing that an individual could do right now is hold sustainability to a higher standard. I think that the sustainable use of our planet's natural resources is the single biggest and most important thing that we could be doing as a planet right now, single biggest issue that we're confronted with. But at the same time, I think the term sustainability is being capitalized on as a trend, and a way to sell more products and to market products better. And so what I would encourage any person who cares about it is to hold sustainability to a higher standard, demand the data on what does that really mean? How are you measuring it? Because I really believe that if sustainability can't be measured, then it can't be managed. And so I think that would be my call to action.
I agree. What can be measured can't be changed. Vilas, thank you so much for sharing with us today. Love your work in sustainable farming and economic development. All the best.
Thank you. Great to be with you.